Counselor Lehman?
Here.
Counselor Matthew?
Here.
Counselor Larson?
Here.
Counselor Peakley?
Here.
Mayor Swanson?
Here. Report from department heads? No. Public Works, we have fire and ambulance. No?
Nah, not for a report.
Okay. Engineering attorney?
Nothing yet.
Okay. Long range planning and zoning.
April.
And Recreation Board, we've received resignations from 3 of our board members, so we will accept. Do we need to do that by motion, or is this a formal? Accept the resignations of Renee Loeffler, Judy Hogan, Carol Savard.
In the past, we've always accepted resignations.
By
Made a
motion?
Yeah, I think.
Okay, I'll make a motion to accept 3 resignations from the rec board.
I'll support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. And I'd like to thank the 3 of them for all of the time they've put into the rec department.
Yes.
Volunteers are hard to come by, and we appreciate all they've done on behalf of our community. Library board meets this Thursday. Vita, end of the month. And nobody from the sheriff's department. We'll continue on with council's addition to the agenda.
And did we want to maybe put on the heaters at the skating shack?
Should we put those on?
Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea.
Okay. Can we, I suppose it doesn't matter if we do it before or after our closed session, so we'll just add that. Yeah. All right. Consent agenda, or citizens forum. I don't think we have anybody for citizens forum. Gary, did you want to talk to us tonight?
Not really.
Darn it. All right. Consent agenda minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the regular city council meeting of February 2nd.
I'll support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Claims?
Make a motion to accept the claims for gross payroll for pay period number 3 and a total AP of $85,712.73.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. To business, our first item is the Iron Range Youth in Action. Taryn? Want to come and speak to us? Can you come to the podium there? You can get through. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me tonight. We did send a donation request to you guys, and that is what brought me here tonight. You guys would like to hear a little bit more about our program. My name is Taryn Burnett. I work for St. Louis County, and I'm one of 2 youth program coordinators. I do have a partner, Tyler Erickson. He's out of Duluth, but he does come up to the range. And we work in 11 Iron Range schools, and we do a lot of, we do all youth programming. So we do many community events and in-school activities, and there's really nothing too big nor too small that we do. Pretty much most events that happen within communities, Iron Range Youth in Action usually has something to do with them. Whether that's cleanup, setup, or just recruiting volunteers. And on next Monday, we have a large youth conference that we're hosting. We're going to have over 430 youth up at Fortune Bay. It's an annual Make a Difference conference that we have. And we do have students from the Mountain Iron Buhl School that will be attending that. I believe we have close to 40 students that will attend from Mountain Iron Buhl. And of our Iron Range Youth in Action members there, I would estimate about 10 live in Buhl. And we do participate in nursing home visits in town, but otherwise there's not a lot of events that we've done within Buhl. We would welcome that. And if you have any questions for me, I can answer any questions about it.
So is that a year-round?
It is. It's an annual event. The kids will get, what happens, like I said, we'll have about 430 students that will come up in the morning. They'll be bussed up. And then 9 out of the 11 Iron Range Youth in Action groups within the schools will present a topic that makes a difference in the lives of youth. And then we'll also have a motivational speaker. We're having Jamie Nabosny this year. He spoke at the schools a few times within the past several years. He was actually just recently at the Virginia school. And then we have a little bit of entertainment for them. This year we're having a hypnotist. Last year was a comedian, and it's a very nice day. It's a great day. We have vendors at this as well. Most of the community colleges attend, the YMCA. This year we're having somebody from St. Louis County for child and teen checkups, and it's a really great day. We reach a lot of students, and it's a fantastic thing to be a part of.
So a lot of what you do is getting them to be more in line with volunteering and doing good citizens type work.
Yes.
In their communities and with these events. And these events that they partake in are year-round. There are different events through all the seasons of the year.
We have many annual events that we participate in, but then sometimes we'll have something new that comes up. And like I mentioned, there's nothing too big nor too small that we do. The conference, for one, that's our main annual event that we have every year. And then we can do events that are very small, such as if a family loses their home to a house fire, some of the students will step forward and say, we want to help, we want to help this group out or this family out, and they'll sell root beer floats at lunchtime. And then we'll purchase a Visa gift card or give a donation of money to that family. We have helped with the Festival of Trees,
What is that? I don't even know what that is.
that's a fundraiser for the Virginia Hospital.
Yep,
Okay. All right.
We help with it.
If we say there was something that was gonna, an event that was gonna happen here in town, now, in other words, if we contacted you and if we needed help from the kids to help run this deal or whatever, and that would happen? That's how that works, or what?
If we're open and the kids are interested in it,
Okay, yes,
absolutely.
okay, yeah.
But
There has to be interest in it, yeah.
right, and 9 times out of 10, they're always interested in it. There's somebody that's interested and somebody that wants to help. And I am a citizen of Buhl also, if I
Yes.
understand that.
Yeah, I see some of the different programs. Some are just good, lighthearted, fun events, and some are fundraisers for important things that go on around the area.
Right.
So it's pretty easy to see where this is beneficial.
Yes, we stay very busy.
Okay. Well,
Any other questions, please? We also, our board meets the first Thursday of every month at the Mesabi Station off of Highway 53, and if anybody would ever like to attend that, you're more than welcome. We have several city council members and mayors and county commissioners that are on our board.
see that.
So,
Pretty big
you're more
board.
than- Yes, we do. We have a great board.
okay, very good.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming and speaking with us.
Thank you very much.
All right, item B. Get back to where I'm at here. Iron Range Youth in Action donation.
I see it's $50 a student.
Do you have a cap on what we donated? Did we?
I don't think there's really a cap on what we can donate to any one particular.
That was, what are you thinking of, Vita?
Vita?
Vita did that.
If we did too much, she'd throw something at us.
Well, if we do too much, we're going to get a whole lot of people stampeding to our meetings.
What do you think about 4 students?
That's what I was thinking.
That's the number I was bouncing in my head.
Sound good, Paul?
You bet.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we do the 4-student contribution for $200.
I'll support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, now I think this is what you guys came to talk to us about.
Uh-oh.
Daytime paid on call.
I'll do my darndest to keep this short.
Now, Josh, before you start, have you talked at your meeting with everybody about this and everyone's on board?
Yeah, they realize the situation we're in too. And yeah, I mean, this is kind of our a starting point, I guess. It's a big adventure. We're kind of jumping into it, but we got to start somewhere.
Right.
So it's not something that would be closed to our members. Our members as well, if they're available for that daytime shift, would have fair opportunity to sign up. I know I talked to Diana though, we would watch the hours per week so we don't get anybody going over that threshold. So basically just trying to open it up so if we can, 3 months down the road have 10 people that don't live in Buhl but are wanting to keep up their license, stay in Buhl at the hall during daytime hours, they can sign up for these 8-hour shifts. I say, some weeks we're not going to make money, we're going to lose. Then we're going to get days where we're going to make, enough to pay for them for, a month or two.
Well, I suppose until you try it, you really won't get a feel for where it's at.
I know I talked with other cities. What you pay them varies very drastically. The position we're in is we're busy, but we're not busy enough where if we lower the on-call pay and give them a bigger stipend for going on 911 calls, that it'll balance out. So that's kind of where we came in with the little bit higher end for them just to stay in town and be available to be on the service. And then if they do go on the 911, it'd be like another $15 little kick-in.
Do you remember off the top of your head, Josh, what you said that we lost as far as not having those daytime calls for a year?
I confirmed my numbers that I was keeping track of with Joe Sturdich, and in 2014, we lost 74 calls. 3 of them we were able to cancel Chisholm for. Last year was 68, I believe, and we actually were able to cancel them 11 times, I believe it was 11 to 12. So I mean, a safe number is we're losing at least 50 calls a year.
That's a lot of money.
If you look at the bare bones, not looking at private insurance, anything, just, a regular Medicare patient, that's basically we're going to break even. We're not going to make money, but we're going to break even and provide a 24 hours,
Right.
coverage for the service area.
Which is a huge
Keep
deal.
what we're doing now with the evenings, weekends. We got a pretty good group that we're making it work. We're grabbing transfers when we can, but we're always covering the town on evenings and weekends up to this point. And that's what we have a chance to then recoup and make some money to set aside for future expenses. So we don't want to go to where we have to do the paid on call around the clock like a lot of towns do. I think with the group we have, we'll be able to put that off for quite a long time. But things do change.
How do you get away with the rate of pay? How is there not like a minimum wage?
I believe when we talked about that, might have been even a year ago or something, we're talking with the small number of staff we have, and I don't believe that we wouldn't fall into that minimum wage category. I know some are like $3-4 an hour for paid on call. Yeah, how they can do it, I don't know, but I don't know if they consider it like a contract worker but yeah, we wouldn't be stuck to pay them minimum wage. So it would be a little difference in pay there just for the level of, if the person's a EMR or a EMT. Try to adjust a little bit because we do need the EMTs to make the ambulance calls.
So if someone from our own department were on call, would they then be required to be at the fire hall, or would they be able?
As long as they're within that 3 minutes. So, and that's a lot of towns there, as long as you're within your 3-minute response time. But yeah, so wouldn't they be required to come up and do the chores, do the rig checks that day, whatever we end up coming out with. But then after that, they would be allowed to go home as long as they're able to respond. So.
That seems fair enough.
Oh, I agree. Will there then be some type of, you know, if it were to happen that somebody didn't make a call that was on call.
It'd be like our stay back policy. You know, if you sign up for stay back and a call does go out and you're not there to cover, and it wasn't, you know, me and Ted are pretty good with communication during the day. If somebody calls in and all of a sudden they can't cover it, we'll do our best to cover it ourselves. However, if they are signed up and don't say anything, don't show up, then it's basically, you know, one strike and you're out, because that's going to be about the time you get that cardiac arrest. And
Yeah.
and as you guys read in that letter, we had 2 in one morning. So Sunday morning we had 3 calls within 2 hours. Last night we had 3 calls. So we might go a week with no calls and then we run our tails off. So like I said, and, you know, and that's, we've been trying to put this off for a long time. I think this is a starting point.
Josh, where would the funds come from to pay these people?
That's a good question. Right now, you know, I know it's into the fiscal year. I'm not asking to have you guys all of a sudden come up with the money to pay these people. I do think though, if we can get this going, get this implemented, maybe get, you know, a certain, you know, 10 people on the roster that this looks like we'll be doing for years and years, then, you know, if we could maybe come to some kind of agreement whether or not the city does start budgeting something for the paid on call, or like I said, we're trying to keep it so at the bare minimum we'll break even, I said.
Now, this will be just on a Monday through Friday basis?
Just Monday through Friday, so evenings, weekends would still be covered strictly by volunteer. And there's gonna be lots of days too that we're not gonna be able to, if one person can work that, say a Wednesday, but only one person can, then we're gonna run with no staff, because we're not gonna pay it and not be able to cover the call anyways. So,
Right. What are the hours gonna be on this?
What's that?
What's the hours gonna be, 7 to something, or?
We looked at it, and you know, a couple of us don't start work till 7, so we're usually, and we're able to go in late if there is a call, so we're looking at 7.
7 to 3.
Because by about 3 o'clock, we start getting people back in the town, so.
And more or less on day shift like that, you'd have to have 2 people, right?
It would be 2 people, it could be an EMT or first responder,
So-
but it's gotta be at least 1 EMT,
So we're looking at $112 a day.
pretty much, yeah. And like I say, if we could keep that, you know, 1 call a week, which, you know, we're basically gonna cover those wages.
Okay.
With what, 1 call?
With 1 call, you know, depending, you know, there's always the chance that if the insurance isn't there, or, you know, but for the most part, that's gone away. We do recoup something. Side note, I am waiting for Advantage Bill to get back to me. We are looking at some of the recapture options that we have for some of the outstanding bills. Small town, hate to do that, but again, we have to be able to stay afloat, pay people to cover town. So if it means going after and trying to do some revenue recapture, you know, we're looking at that, and before we do anything, naturally, we'll be bringing that back to you guys, so.
Well, that will make for a better ambulance service as far as in the community.
Yes, you know, it's one of those things, you know, with the ODC, the Academy, you know, Ziegler, we service Ziegler, Kenny Great Scott. You know, we cover a lot of people, and you know, just with the traffic on 53, but 169, you know. So, you know, to be able to get us that 1 crew where if somebody does have an incident, that help is there. And like I say, and I said it since I've taken over there, we appreciate everything that Chisholm Ambulance Service has done for us. Joe started, she's been fantastic. But I believe that the community needs to have their own service in town. With bad roads, and that 15 minutes is too long. And it's not their fault. We're happy they make it over here safely.
Right.
Exactly. But it is Minnesota.
Well, if it runs us, it would be like a couple thousand a month for the next 10 months is 20 grand or so for the rest of this year.
Yeah.
We're going to be able to cover this somehow?
I think, with what we have, and like I said, we'd be relying on, covering our daytime calls to make that.
And then,
Yeah, roughly 2,200 a month.
Yeah.
So,
I know we looked at the insurance aspect of it, and that's, I don't think there's any added cost there.
No, there's no additional coverage required.
but like you say, a couple runs and
It
it
is.
would be paid for, and
Be
just to
taken
have
care
it
of,
here
yeah.
has such value that it's pretty hard to put a dollar tag
It
on
is,
that.
and one of the family members of the last cardiac arrest that Buhl had was going to get a letter to me, and he wasn't able to within the timeline for the meeting. But that's basically what they're, and again, he's grateful for Chisholm coming over and that. However,
There's a wait
we
time.
live in Buhl, we know where the addresses are, so us passing a house up or missing it is less likely.
Right.
Some of the little areas we get out to north of town, GPS is great, but it's one of those things that you know it better once you've been on it, so.
Yeah.
And just, the fact that that 5 miles between Chisholm and Buhl can eat up a lot of time.
So Josh, where do you think you'll find people to man this? Like you say outsiders.
We're gonna have to advertise. I know that, and that's the thing, we could be doing this and maybe not get anybody with interest. That's another reason why we tried to set that wage up a little bit. Not to steal anybody away, but to maybe encourage them to vendor this way, even for 1 or 2 days a week, a month, because like I said, our call volume isn't always there, but there are people that just want to maintain their certification. $50 a day is a little something extra, so they don't mind doing it. These people would also be incorporated into the transfer rotation, so they won't get their paid on call rate, but if there was a transfer after hours, that would fall into that category where they could either help with stay back or to go on the transfer for those rates. And then another side note too, like if it is our own members and they're signed up for that day and they go on call, they're not gonna get the usual $40, they'll go to that paid on call rate. So unfortunately, for me and Diana, it's going to be a little bit more on the payroll end, but with the I am responding and then it's easy enough to track that whether or not they're on call that day, they'll get this rate. If it's after hours, they get this rate type thing.
So when are we looking at implementing this?
Well, if you guys give me the green light, between social media, some of the other EMS networks we have, and then probably look at advertising within the newspapers, local newspapers. So
As soon as possible?
we're ready to go when you guys are, because we've been kind of gearing up for this.
I have one question, I guess, for Diana.
Yeah.
Is it the extra workload that it's going to be on you? Is that going to affect?
No, I don't think so, because like Josh said, the reports are all online now. It's not, before it was handwritten and it took a lot of time. Now everything's online and it keeps track of everybody's runs and miles and things. So it's a lot easier having it online now.
Terry, are you going to find money?
Absolutely.
And it is, like I said, just not to keep going over it, but it is, I understand a lot of people, right now, the ambulance service, we're surviving off of the money we're getting back from the runs we go. But even, I guess if you look at it where we feel it's worth that gamble to take that money to provide paid on call, I think, maybe that should be something that the citizens realize that there really is a need for this right now.
Oh, yeah.
And it's in their best interest. I tell you, when you listen to calls go over the pager radio and you know that you have nobody in town that can help out,
Yeah.
it's one of the worst feelings.
Yeah, it's not good. No.
We are really fortunate to have a good fire and ambulance
Yes.
departments here.
So, like I said, if you guys are willing, I'd like to try this for at least a 6-month period.
Sure.
Somebody like to make that motion?
I guess I'd make the motion to try for at least 6 months the daytime paid-on call.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
Me, you have a waiting list of people.
That would be fantastic. And as always, we're still looking for
Josh, I have a question for you. Do you have paddles in your ambulance in case somebody has a heart attack, you can shock them?
we've done away with paddles, but we have the defibrillators. Both rigs have, one's a brand new machine, the other one's, but yes, we're able to, fortunately at the academy, defibrillation was key to us successful. So, and we are equipped with all that.
All right.
Thanks, Josh.
All right, thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ted. You can stay if you want, I mean, I'm not.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, League of Minnesota Cities Insurance Trust Safety and Loss Control Workshop. There is a training coming up in BUHLFEB on March 31st. It's a one-day, $20, lunch is included, materials are included, and they have a bunch of different topics that would be valuable to our staff, our employees, street employees, to the counselors. I think that what we should do is make a motion that anybody, whether elected official or employee of the city who would like to attend, that we let them attend that day as long as we've got someone to cover here at home.
March 31st. How soon do you have to, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you want, Anna, you can sign me up. I'll take part in this.
I will make that motion.
Make a motion to allow anybody who wants to go, and
Yeah, support. Question. How soon do you have to know?
Usually we can sign up, we have a couple weeks. It's not till the 31st, so they like to at least 2 weeks beforehand know.
Okay.
But we have done it where it's been only a week notice, and they've been fine with that.
Yeah, I didn't see a date on here, that's why I was...
yeah, I don't see anything in here at all that says sign up by date, but I thought, we'd put it out there plenty early, so anybody who wants to consider it, if we have a motion to allow anybody who wants to go, who can go, to go.
Yeah, we did,
So,
and I supported.
okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
Yeah, we did, I did, all that.
That was so quick.
Well,
Okay. And now for more training, Municipal Clerks and Finance Officers Association Conference. Now, I see you put down it's a 2-night thing, but what you've checked off is just kind of a couple of days. Are you planning on going for 1 night or 2?
Well, if I go to all these sessions, it would be 2 nights. It'd be Tuesday
I see,
and Wednesday night.
Thursday.
Oh,
check,
okay,
yeah.
Wednesday,
Yeah.
Thursday up.
Because there is one on Tuesday that I really want to go to is the new clerk orientation, which is and then
That'd be
on
really
Wednesday, the financing options for your city and the new
Okay.
liquor ones. And Thursday, the election training and recent changes. And then the GASB. So there's,
They are really valuable things there
right,
for you.
so it would require 2 nights.
I'll make a motion that we'll have Anna to take part in this conference.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. You bet. All right. We need to change the date of our next council meeting due to the caucus night, March 1st. Or that will be, do we want to change it to Wednesday, or do we want to have our meeting earlier?
No, I can make it earlier, but I don't know what anybody else.
I would prefer to go the next night if that would be okay, Wednesday.
I'm good with that.
Would that be all right with you guys? The
That's
2nd,
fine.
going on the 2nd, March 2nd?
Okay.
Same time? Our usual time, 6:30? Okay, we'll have to have a
I'll
motion.
make the motion, we change our March 1st meeting to March 2nd at 6:30.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. All right.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we close our regular meeting so we may have a closed meeting on personnel issues.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed, motion carried. All right, can I have a motion to reopen the open meeting?
I'll make that motion to open the open meeting.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Now, since we've had the resignations of 3 of our rec department members, our board is kind of left with no one to supervise our employees at the skating rink. Do we want to continue keeping our rink open, or should we look at closing the rink?
What kind of time frame are we looking here? You want to go the last weekend of February or sooner? What is your preference?
Well, I know the weather is warming up rather quickly now.
It may be after this weekend, we won't have good ice anyway if
could be
it
soup.
warms up.
And it's supposed to get real warm again the week after.
Yeah, so we'll have a chance to refreeze solidly and don't want anyone getting hurt on sloppy ice.
We should set a date for closure and then inform all of the employees that they are to turn in their keys. And
We know there's not going to be any on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday because of the warm weather. So maybe we should do it for the 20th. That'd be this Saturday.
Is that this Saturday?
Yep.
Time
Yeah,
flies.
it would be.
What's your thoughts, Paul?
Yeah, well, if it's gonna be warm, I guess why have it open if it's closed anyway?
Stuart?
I'll make a motion that we close the skating rink on February 6th or 20th.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Other business, we've got the heaters up at the skating shack, which is
Yeah.
another issue for us, I guess.
Two of them have to be replaced, right, Paul?
3, yeah, are no good.
And we also got the sink issue.
Now, Diana, did you say that Trent looked at the one heater?
He did, and he thought it was just the reset because then it started working. But then when he was there this morning,
It wasn't working.
It wasn't working, and it's
So we've only got one that works.
correct.
And like I said, it all depends if they're 220 or 110. The 220 units are a little spendier than the 110.
I don't know what
We'll have to-
I thought Trent said they were 110, but.
Okay, because L&M does carry up those ceiling mounted ones. They're light tan colored.
Oh, yeah. And I believe they're on sale this week.
Go get them, okay? And then we'll have to mention it to Trent too about looking at that sink.
I already did a work order.
Okay, good enough.
Okay.
What's wrong?
It fell off the wall.
Oh, yeah, that's a
You know,
problem.
nobody comes and tells us nothing, so
So are the heaters beyond repair? Are we looking at buying new heaters?
junk 2 of them, yeah.
Okay.
2 out of the 3.
Yeah.
Well, we can maybe
So-
nurse that one until the end of the season.
Yeah.
All right.
My concern with that is
Yeah,
we
what-
do have plumbing and water.
Yes,
We
and
gotta
if
keep
the one
going
heater
in
went
there,
out,
Ooh.
we gotta have
Okay,
backup
good-
over
good
there.
point.
Sooner probably the better.
Yeah, okay.
So should we,
Should we get somebody to look at them or fix them?
Trent can do those ones. I handle 1,000 of them at Mintech, and guess what? Unless you want to carry a big surplus on shelves of all the extra parts and transformers and elements,
It's cheaper to.
it's cheaper to go buy.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Makes
that-
sense.
The one, for sure, the fan was toast in it.
Yeah.
so what kind of
Possibly,
heater, what
but-
kind of prices are we talking about with this?
They can range anywhere from $120 to $180. Those ones that are ceiling mounted like that. The better ones that'll last.
What were the ones in the fire hall we just put in?
They were, I'm not exactly sure, but they were 220, I think. They were the bigger ones.
Yeah, those are spend units. Those are
Yeah.
$400 to $500.
Yeah, they were,
Yeah, that's
I was gonna say 400 a piece.
Yeah.
a little bigger.
So
building.
should we have a motion to purchase one more heater for the skating shack, not to exceed 200?
2 heaters.
Oh, 2 more heaters.
Yes.
Okay.
2 of the 3 are gone.
Well, let them do a
Not
price
to
check on
exceed.
it. Okay, let them do a price check on it.
And
We
go
could set
ahead
a
and
limit,
purchase?
but I would think that you should be able to get them for 200 or less. But I don't want to,
So set a cap of $500
okay.
for 2 heaters and let's get them in there, so.
Sure. I'll make a motion that we allow Trent to go shopping and get a couple of heaters for the skating shack, not to exceed $500.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
I got this workshop that's gonna be in Mountain Iron
The what?
for this hazmat.
Yes.
Yes.
I was wondering, do we need a motion
To let you go to that? Is there a cost included in that?
No,
Is there a
it's
meal or
free.
anything? No, then you go with our blessings.
Yes.
Well, and I was also thinking that Trent should maybe go to it too.
Well, that would require a motion if we want to allow Trent to go to this.
I mean,
What day is it?
It's February 24th, on Wednesday.
Wednesday.
1 to 4 p.m.
That's next week,
Okay,
week from tomorrow.
so if he's able to go, should we make a motion to allow him to go? All right.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support it.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Very good. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Support.
Any further discussion? Anybody want to stay? All in favor? Aye. Opposed, motion carried.